How are you, learners? I'm glad to have you once again on the Manifested e-learning platform. It's my hope that you are ready to learn. As usual, when you come to these lessons, make sure you have a notebook and a pen so that when we are working here out on the board, problems and explaining terms, be writing the notes in your book for your revision. Now, learners, in our today's lesson, we continue from where we stopped. In our last lesson, where we introduced the subtopic quartiles, deciles, and percentiles under the broader topic statistics 2. The topic is statistics 2. Statistics 2, and the subtopic is quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. And percentiles. These are three things: quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. Learners, in our last lesson, we defined quartile. We said that a quartile is a value that divides a set of data or distribution into 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts. 4 quarters. I get the word quartile is quarters. All right. Then I gave you the formula for calculating quartiles. We worked out examples here on the board on how to calculate first quartile, second quartile, third quartile. Then I gave you assignment, which you must have done. If you have not done the assignment, please go and do the assignment. Stop this video, go do the assignment, then come back. Proceed with our today's lesson because it's a continuation from where we stopped. Remember, a quartile, I've just said, divides a set of data, for example, into 4 equal parts. If this is the middle, then that will be second quartile, which you also said is the middle quartile, or the median. The median. This value will represent the median, and this value here is the first quartile, which is also known as the lower quartile. All right. And if you are to look at it from this point, then this Q1 is the median of the second quartile. The second quartile will be the median of this second quartile. All right. Then there is the third quartile. Third quartile. This is the third quartile, also known as the upper quartile. This is the lower quartile, also known as the first quartile. So, since 3 points are required to divide a set of data into 4 equal parts, there are 3 quartiles. Quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. So that's what we did in our last lesson. Today we want to define deciles. Decile, what is a decile, and how do you calculate deciles? Now, learners, a decile is a value that divides a distribution or set of data into 10 equal parts. 10 equal parts. I want you to write that down. It is a value that divide a set of data, or what we call distribution. Set of data is simply distribution, divides distribution into 10 equal parts, into 10 equal parts, into 10 equal parts. And since 9 points are required, to divide a set of data, into 10 equal parts, we have 9 deciles. We have how many deciles? 9 deciles. For example, if you have a set of data and you want to divide this set of data into 10 equal parts, you will need 10 points. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. You will require how many points? This is the starting point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You will require 9 points. 9 points. These are how many parts? These are 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4th part, 5th part, 6th part, 7th part, 8th part, 9th part, and 10th part. These are 10 equal parts. 10 equal parts. 10 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Since 9 points are required, then we are saying we'll have 9 deciles. Okay? So that this one will be referred to as decile 1, decile 2, decile 3, decile 4, decile 5, decile 6, decile 7, decile 8, and decile 9. First decile, second decile, third decile, fourth decile, fifth decile, sixth decile, seventh decile, eighth decile, ninth decile. So there are how many deciles? 9 deciles. 9 deciles. Learners, another important point to note that each part out of the 10 parts, each part contains 10% of the distribution, 10% of the total distribution. 10%. Each part contains 10%. So this will be 10%. Up to this point, that is 10% of the distribution or the set of data or observations. This other part, from this part to this part, that will again will be 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. So if you are to add all these percentages, it will give you the total, which is 100%. So each part contains 10% of the observations. In other words, each part, if you are to convert this into a fraction, each part here contains 1/10. These are 10 parts. So this one part will be 1/10. These again 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, a tenth, a tenth, a tenth, a tenth, a tenth, a tenth, right? 1 over 10. 1 over 10, a tenth. Okay? These are 10 equal parts. These are parts. This is a fraction of the total. So if you are to convert this into percentage, you multiply by 100, that will give us 10%. So each part contains 10% of the total observation. Total observation. Another important point, learners, is that the fifth decile, this one here, the fifth decile, this point here, this fifth decile, okay? The fifth decile, let me write that one down. The fifth decile, that is D5, is the median, is equal to the median. Is the same as the median, is equal to the median. This is the middle point. The middle point of all this set, of this distribution, this middle point is the median. And you can see it is at 50%. 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 is equal to 50% of the total distribution. That is the median. It's important to note that. And later on we'll see when computing the fifth decile, if you are to compute the fifth decile separately and compute the median separately, the answer will be the same. The answer will be the same. So the fifth decile is equal to the median. Learners, I will also recall, if I was to remind you, when we're doing the quartiles, remember the second quartile, we equated the second quartile again to the median. Remember that's what we did. We say that the median is equal to the second quartile. The second quartile, that is Q2. The second quartile, that value is equal to the median. All right. Here I'm saying the fifth decile is equal to the median. I'm also reminding you the median we also said is equal to the second quartile. So learners, let us now proceed and see how to calculate the decile. What's the formula for calculating the decile? So the formula, candid learners, for decile, it can be any decile. Let's do the first decile, for example. First decile. First decile, which we said can be denoted as D1. The formula will be equal to L, which is the lower class boundary of the first decile class. First decile class. First decile class plus 1 over 10 n plus 1 over 10 n minus c over f times I. All right, 1 over 10. So this 1 is for the first decile. This n is the total frequency. C is the cumulative frequency above the first decile class. F is the frequency of the decile class, and I is the class interval of the class interval of the decile class, where, let me put it down, where L is equal to the lower class boundary of the first decile class, that is L. N is equal to the total frequency N. C is equal to the cumulative frequency above or before the first decile class, that is C. Then F is equal to the frequency of the first decile class. Then lastly we have I is equal to the class interval of the first decile class. Learners, this formula is not different from the one for quartiles or median. What is changing here is this value. Since we are calculating decile, and by the way, learners, deci means 10. So we calculate, if it's first decile, if you are calculating first decile, you put 1 over 10 times n. If you be calculating the second decile, then the formula will change. This is the only thing that will change here. We'll have 2 over 10 times n. Then we'll adjust these variables accordingly. So I want us to apply that formula by doing a question. We want to apply the formula, and I'm going to use the question we had last time. I'll write the formula here. I'm going to write the question. This is example. Want to see how we can calculate deciles. The table below shows the distribution of heights. The table below shows the distribution of heights, to the nearest centimeter of 40 students. So we have here height in centimeters, 145 to 149, 150 to 154, 155 to 159, 160 to 164, 165 to 169, and I have 170 to 174, then 175 to 179. 2, 5, 16, 9, 5, 2, 1. This is frequency. These are number of students. Blue, 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 blue. I have my blue, 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 blue. Blue pen, my blue pen. Required. Let me just say calculate. Calculate A, first decile, B, second decile, then C, fifth decile. Fifth decile. First decile, second decile, fifth decile. Fifth decile. Let me write here. Fifth decile. First, second, C, fifth decile. Here is the answer. So let me arrange this distribution in column form. So I'll have height in centimeters, that is 145 to 149, 150 to 154, 155 to 159, 160 to 164, 165 to 169, 170 to 174, then 175 to 179. Then frequency 2, 5, 16, 9, 5, 2, 1. From that formula candidates, we require cumulative frequency. So let us cumulate the frequencies first. So we have 2 plus 5, 7 plus 16, 23 plus 9, 32 plus 5, 37 plus 2, 39 plus 1, 40. And the total frequency here is equal to 40. It's equal to 40. So with this table, we should be able to first answer the first decile. The one is first decile. First decile, that is D1, is equal to L plus 1 over 10 N minus C over F times I. So we'll come here and have first to calculate 1 over 10 times N, or times 40. N is 40. So that cancels out. We have 4. So where does the fourth student lie? The fourth student lies in this class here. Use the cumulative frequencies. The first decile class is 150 to 154. 150 to 154 is the first decile class. The first decile class, meaning that the boundary, because this L is the lower class boundary. The lower class boundary, we are going to subtract 0.5 from 150. That will be 149.5. Then we add 0.5 to 154. That will give us 154.5. 154.5. These are class boundaries. Class boundary. This is the class boundary to this class. Now, we have the lower class boundary. There is 149.5. Then we add the 1/10. We had calculated 1/10 times n, which is equal to 4. Then we subtract. We are going to subtract the cumulative frequency of the class preceding, the cumulative frequency above the first decile class. This is the cumulative frequency. This is the first decile class. The cumulative frequency above this class is 2. So we subtract here 2, divide by the frequency of the first decile class. The frequency of the first decile class is 5. We divide by 5 by 5. Frequency is 5. Then we multiply by the class interval. The class interval here will be 154.5 minus 149.5. That is equal to 5. It's equal to 5. I'll now take my machine. Let me take my machine and do the calculation. So I have 4 minus 2 divided by, this is 4 minus 2 divided by 5 times 5 plus 149.5. 149.5. My answer here is 151.5. This is the first decile. First decile, right? First decile. Let's calculate the second decile. That is B. B. Second decile. Second decile. Second decile, denoted as D2, is equal to L plus 1 over, this should be 2 because it's second, going to be 2 over 10 n, all right, 2 over 10 n minus C divided by F times I, times I. So first we calculate 2 over 10 times 40. 10 goes here once, 10 goes here 4 times, so we have 8. Where does the 8th student lie? The 8th student lies or falls in this class, this 155 to 159. So the class here is 155 to 159. So if that is the case, then what is the class boundary here? The class boundary will be 155 minus 0.5, giving us 154.5 to 159 plus 0.5, which is equal to 159.5. So the lower class boundary here is 154.5 plus 2 over 10 times n is equal to 8 minus the cumulative frequency above the second decile. The second decile class, we have this second decile class here, okay? This is the second decile class. Cumulative frequency before or preceding is 7, so 8 minus 7 times the class interval. The class interval is 159.5 minus 154.5, 154.5. This is equal to 5. So this is equal to 5. Then we divide here by the frequency of the second decile class. The frequency of this second decile class is 16. Divide here by 16. So let's work it out. 8 minus 7 is equal to 1 divided by 16 times 5 plus 154.5. 154.5. This is equal to 154.8. 154.8. So the answer here is 154.8. That is the second decile. The second decile. Let's work out the fifth decile. That is C. The fifth decile. The fifth decile. That is the fifth decile. The fifth decile, which we said can be is equal to D5, right? D5 is equal to L plus 5 over 10 N minus C over F times I. So first we will have this value 5 over 10 times 40 goes here once, goes here 4 times. So where does the 20th student lie? So we come to the cumulative. The 20th student will lie here. Okay. Which class? The class is 155 to 159. This is 155 to 159. This is the class. So the class boundary, the lower class boundary is 154.5. We add 5 over 10 times 40. 5 over 10 times 40 is equal to 20 minus the cumulative frequency of the cumulative frequency above the fifth decile class. This is the fifth decile class. Cumulative frequency here is 7. So we minus 7. Okay. Divide by the frequency. The frequency of the fifth decile class. This is the fifth decile class. The frequency here is 16. The frequency is 16. 16 is the frequency times 5, the class interval. The class interval. So let's do the calculation. Calculation here is 20 minus 7 divide 16 times 5 plus 154.5. The answer is 158. 158.52. This is the fifth decile. The fifth decile. Learners, you remember I said that the fifth decile, D5, remember when I introduced, I said this is equal to the median, which is equal to Q2, the second quartile. The second quartile. Let us prove, because so far we know the formula for the median. We know that median, the formula for median is equal to L plus a half N, because it's median, minus C over F times I. So let's divide a half by N. A half times N is a half times 40, which is equal to 20. The 20th student will lie in this class, all right, this class of 155 to 159. Therefore, the lower class boundary is 154.5 plus 20 minus the cumulative frequency before the median class. Cumulative frequency before the median class is equal to 7. 7 divided by the frequency of the median class. The frequency of this median class is equal to 16. This is equal to 16 times the class interval of 5. You can see, learners, that these variables are the same. So you have 20 minus 7 divided by 16 times 5 plus 154.5. This is equal to 158.562. And learners can see this value is the same as that value. That's why I said that the fifth decile is equal to median, which is equal to the second quartile. So this is correct. This one again is correct. I had calculated here. Another one here is correct. This is correct. So that is how to calculate deciles. Now, before we proceed, learners, here is your small assignment using the same distribution. Assignment, class assignment. This is class assignment. Class assignment. You can write down using the distribution on the board. Using this distribution, learners calculate a third decile, B fourth decile, C I want to calculate seventh decile, D ninth decile. I want you to compute these deciles. This will be our today's assignment. Using the distribution on the board. Using this distribution, calculate third decile, fourth decile, seventh decile, eighth, ninth decile. And since I've mentioned 8, let me just put it down. Eighth decile, compute the eighth decile, third decile, fourth decile, then lastly fifth decile. fifth decile. Practice, learners, practice will make you perfect. Do the class assignment, then we proceed in our next lesson on the subtopic quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. Bye-bye.